All right, welcome to today's edition of Weathering the Storms of Life with the Rains. Rob Rains, Sally Tippett Rains here with you again on STLSportsPage.com, as well as RainbowsForKids.org, as we continue to bring you our little quiz programs here as we get through the quarantine period and the stay-at-home orders here in St. Louis County from the county executive. It looks like they're going to extend those things for another week or so anyway, so we'll be coming back with more broadcasts.
Great.
Can't wait.
I know you all love watching these things, but at least it's
We
giving
do
you
enjoy
something
your
to do.
words of wisdom.
All right, my words of wisdom today. A storm had washed up thousands of starfish. A girl picks one up and tosses it into the ocean. Then another, and another. People watch amused. A man says, "Little girl, what are you doing? You can't save them all. It's impossible to make a difference." Returning another back to the water, she says, "It made a difference to that one."
That's good.
So let's all make a difference with the talents we have been given.
Exactly. All right, today's editions, we have a couple different categories. We're going to do television geography. We'll ask you questions about what either cities, fictional cities, or real cities that shows occurred in, or something to do with those shows, as well as then a topic categories of Jack or Jill. The answers are either answers about somebody named Jack or somebody named Jill.
And I have something fun.
Oh.
I am throwing in
What's that?
5 pop questions that you don't
Five?
know about.
Ooh.
These are
Stump
5
Rob.
pop questions
We're playing
about
Stump
Cardinals
Rob.
people.
Oh,
Could be a
now we're
player, could be anything to do with the Cardinals.
A new
Not-
edition called Stump the Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I remember Stump the Schwab.
I do.
I always thought you should have been on that show. But
No.
anyway, all right. We'll see how much you know. I'll ask you the question. Should I just
Or how
ask it
little.
to you now and you'll
Sure.
answer it right
Sure.
now?
Let's just do these first.
All right. Which former Cardinals pitcher was in Field of Dreams and what was the circumstance?
I do know that. But of course, he wasn't on the Cardinals at the time. He was on the Dodgers, and it's Ricky Horton, who's a broadcaster. And when I forgot the girl's name, but Kevin Costner's daughter, when she's in the house and the television game is on in the background, and the announcer says something, they show a television set and something is said about a softball, and so she asked her dad, "Daddy, what's a softball?" And it's Rick Horton.
There's Ricky Horton.
I knew that. Ricky can tell you exactly what number, how far into the movie that scene is, as far as minutes and seconds.
It was pretty cool watching it when all of a sudden you saw Ricky Horton up
Mhm.
there. Which former, now this is pop culture
Yeah.
type of thing, which former Cardinals player who appeared on The Real Housewives of Orange County likes to promote himself on social media,
I know that
recently bought a very large house
I know
and
this
he
one,
got
too.
the COVID-19
Jim
virus.
Edmonds, Jim Edmonds.
Jim Edmonds,
I know
there
that
you go. Pretty much everyone knows that one.
Okay, 2 for 2.
All right. Who, a person that is involved with the Cardinals,
Okay.
is a rap music producer and has photos of herself with Nelly, Neo, Steven Tyler, and T.I. hanging in her office.
I don't know all of those people, but I do know the answer to that is Ira DeWitt, who's Bill DeWitt III's wife.
Okay, I can't get you on any of them.
3 for 3.
Here's a good one.
Okay.
President Trump has a new press secretary.
Yes.
So, Trump's new press secretary has a connection to the St. Louis Cardinals.
She does. Former connection to the St. Louis
Well,
Cardinals.
it's still a connection.
Kaylee McEnany, and she is married to Sean Gilmartin, who's the left-handed pitcher who spent a season a couple years ago in Memphis. Ashley did a story on him 1 year in spring training before, obviously, that they were married, but she was not in that position yet. So,
Kaylee McEnany.
Mhm.
Kaylee McEnany.
Mhm.
Yeah, ever since you interviewed her and did this story on him, I see her all the time, and now she's Trump's
secretary.
press secretary.
Correct.
All right, and then the last question of pop culture type things of
4 for
St.
4.
Louis sports. Name a few St. Louis Cardinal fans. These are people from St. Louis who, although they have they've gotten famous and moved away, they're on TV or in movies, they often are seen wearing Cardinals clothes or recently also Blues clothes.
How many of them you have on your list?
Well, I have the 2 big ones, but you can name a few more.
Well, John Hamm. is
John
one-
Hamm, of
is one
course.
that I think Sterling K. Brown would qualify, probably.
That's probably right.
I think John Goodman would still wear, although I also see him wearing Springfield Cardinals hats, not St. Louis Cardinals hats.
Maybe he's also a New Orleans fan by now too, but I'm not
Mhm.
sure.
Well,
He's
they
a Cardinal
don't
fan.
have
I
a
know he
baseball
likes.
team. They don't have a
the
baseball team. Beyond that,
He likes going to Pretzel's Deli when in town. Andy Cohen,
Andy Cohen. Okay. All right. Good. All
who
right.
actually produced
Those were good.
Jim Edmonds in the
Yeah.
Housewives.
And it was tested positive for COVID-19 too.
Okay, it's all kind of going together there. Well, I
No
hope
COVID-19 questions on the TV geography, however.
we're trying to get you to forget about those
Yeah.
things. But well, you 5 for 5. You did a
Not
good
bad.
job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You don't just know the facts
All right.
about the
Let's
sport.
move on to TV geography. You get us started.
Question number 1. What does M stand for on Wally Cleaver's letter sweater? M on his letter sweater.
I don't think it's Melville. Okay, what fictional Illinois town is the home to the Connors family? It was true when Roseanne was on the show, and it's still true with Dan and the kids now on the show on ABC. The name of the fictional Illinois town where the Connors live.
Okay, and I love this one. This show's been off the air for a long time, but it was one of my favorites years ago. What was the fictional home where the soap opera All My Children took place in? What town did All My Children take place in?
Question 4. Where would you find the bar Cheers? I've actually been there. There's a bar named Cheers in this city, the United States. Where would you find the bar Cheers?
Okay. Number 5. What city talked about Sex in the City? What city is talked about? What city is in Sex in the City?
The city refers to what? Yeah, Sex and the City still on reruns, so we're syndicated shows. So, what is the city? Okay. Question 6. What was Fred and Wilma Flintstone's hometown? Cartoon characters Fred and Wilma Flintstone. What was the name of their hometown?
All right. The famous Ted Baxter. He was a newscaster in what U.S. city? Ted Baxter, the character on a TV show. Where is a real city, though, that the show was based in?
Question 8. There's a whole bunch now of CSI programs on the air, but where was the original CSI show set? What U.S. city was the original CSI show set in?
Okay, the next one is,
Another former show.
yes, Desperate Housewives. Wisteria Lane was set in what town? What fictional suburb was Desperate Housewives?
Wisteria Lane.
Yes.
Kind of take off a Peyton place, right? Okay. Question 10 is the final question in this category. Grey's Anatomy, popular TV show. It's set at a hospital in what U.S. city? What U.S. city is home to Grey's Anatomy? Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one, Jack or Jill. So that's pretty obvious. The answer is either Jack or Jill, or the question has Jack or Jill in it.
Correct. Question 1. Where is the original Jack Daniels distillery located? The name of the town and the state where the original Jack Daniels distillery is located.
Number 2, name one of the 2 movies in which Jack Nicholson won the Oscar for Best Actor.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson, Oscar for Best Actor.
Question 3. In what city did Jack the Ripper commit multiple murders? Where was the location of Jack the Ripper's murder sprees?
On the TV show 24, who was the person who played the lead role that played Jack Bauer on 24?
Question 5. Which of the golf major tournaments, the 4 golf major tournaments, which one did Jack Nicklaus win the most times? Of all the 4 major tournaments, which one did Jack Nicklaus win more than any other ones?
All right. Speaking of Jack and Jill, when Jack and Jill went up the hill in the nursery rhyme, what were they going to do?
Next question. What baseball player with a first name of Jack has hit the most career home runs in the major leagues? 340. The most career home runs hit in the major leagues by a player with the first name of Jack.
And we're wrapping the category up with who was the author of The Call of the Wild, the book The Call of the Wild, who wrote that?
Okay. Very good. Hopefully you enjoyed those questions. Now we'll go through and give you the answers. First, the television geography. Question 1.
Mayfield.
The M in Wally Cleaver's letter sweater was for Mayfield.
They were from Mayfield.
Fictional Illinois town home to the Connors is Lanford, outside of Chicago.
And Pine Valley was where All My Children took place, Pine Valley.
You'll find the bar Cheers in Boston.
Sex in the City was New York.
The home to Fred and Wilma Flintstone was Bedrock.
Bedrock. Ted Baxter, it was in Minneapolis, the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Correct. The home of the first CSI show before all the spin-offs was Las Vegas.
Desperate Housewives took place in Fairview.
And Grey's Anatomy is set at a hospital in Seattle. That was the TV geography answers. Now move on to Jack or Jill.
All right, the Jack Daniels Distillery was in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
The 2 movies that Jack Nicholson won the best Oscar for, one was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and the other was As Good as It Gets.
Number 3. What city did Jack the Ripper commit multiple murders? It was London.
Who played the role of Jack Bauer on the TV series 24? That was Kiefer Sutherland. The golf tournament, golf tournament majors that Jack Nicholson won more than any others was the Masters. He won it 6 times.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
And the baseball player with the most career home runs by a player with the first name of Jack is former St. Louis Cardinal player Jack Clark with 340 in his career.
And Jack London was the author of The Call of the Wild.
Very good. That's today's edition of the program. Here, hopefully you enjoyed that. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you again here soon with another edition of Weathering the Storm of Life with the Ranges here on stlsportspage.com, rainbowsforkids.org.